Welcome back in to the Scramble Drill Podcast. I am your host, Ben Watts, alongside Landon Davis. We're going to be breaking down some football. We're going to be talking about week 3 of the NFL season. Landon, I don't know about you. I had a horrible weekend.
Yeah.
Just devastatingly bad weekend.
We're going to talk about the Falcons and the disaster that was this Sunday. But I had a better weekend. I'm doing all right.
I'm not. Obviously, I'm a South Carolina fan, so that team is, just completely falling apart. And I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan. That team is falling apart. I am a Josh Allen fan, so that was a positive for the weekend. I might be a bigger Josh Allen fan than I'm a Falcon fan. But as you know, we play a lot of fantasy football. I am in 6 dynasty leagues. You're in
3.
Probably 3 or 4, I would guess. And I think I'm a contender in most of them. But I squeaked by one for sure win, probably going to win another, and then just got smashed in every other league I'm in. It was rough. It was a real bad weekend.
Week 3 will get you.
Was not fun, dude. With all that negativity out of the way, do we want to just go ahead and hop into these scores?
Let's talk some ball.
All right. Let's hop into some good things that happen. Yeah, let's talk some ball. Speaking of ball, the Buffalo Bills do really exactly what we were expecting them to do on Thursday night against Miami. It was actually closer than I thought it would be personally, but it was also one of those things that the game never really felt in doubt for the Bills. Like, oh, Miami's playing really well. Maybe they're not going to beat the Bills.
They're not going to beat the Bills. And we did it last week, but I mean, Josh has become, let's not forget, this guy was almost out of the league. Not out of the league. This guy was almost seen as a backup. Like, his first 2 years was like, I mean, he was disaster turning the ball over. Disaster. And he has turned into the guy in the league who's the most careful with the ball. I mean, can we say that? Is he the most careful quarterback with the ball, with his rushing ability and with his arm?
He hasn't turned the ball over this year.
It's unbelievable. He didn't turn it over last year either. I mean, he is, when their offense is unstoppable. It was shocking in this game when he threw an incompletion. It was like, wait, what? Did I just?
He was 22 of 28.
The first half, I feel like
he genuinely, it feels like when I'm playing Madden, and like if I'm playing Madden and I've gotten really good at it, the game almost gets boring because I'll go out there and have games where I'm just like 28 of 32 or something like that. He's doing that in real life.
He was awesome. He's allergic to turning the ball over, which for him, with that skill set, is just, it's hard to stop, man. It is hard to stop.
I remember when they brought in Brady, Joe Brady, and they were, talking about, limiting turnovers, and the way they almost talked was like they were going to take the reins off of, not take the reins away from him, but be more run focused, give him more balance, maybe take him out of some of these really bad situations where he's got to do all this. And we were kind of worried. I'm like, shoot, is Josh Allen's upside going to be capped by all this? No. It's somehow he's gotten even better.
He's kept the upside just without the downside. I mean, it really is remarkable. And James Cook looks great. Like, I've never been the biggest fan. To me, he looks a little slim to be a running back. He has more of a wide receiver body to me. He really honestly has a pretty similar body to Jahmyr Gibbs in my head, but both of them figured it out. James Cook looks great. He looks great early in this season. Hopefully they can keep him fresh and keep him rolling. But the big news is, like, you go ahead and pull up the Bills' schedule at some point. They're definitely looking at 9-0. Like, they're toughest team in there, I guess you would say, before they get to their 10th game is the Chiefs, and they always beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and the Chiefs don't look great right now. Buffalo has they got to get the 1 seed. They have to take advantage of this schedule, this start, and get the 1 seed because it's all in front of them right now. It is all in front of them.
Yep. The AFC is quite literally, they've already gotten past the other toughest opponent, which would be the Ravens. The AFC is theirs to lose right now. It's unbelievable. It really is. Yeah. Yeah. So, I didn't mention this before we got into the games. I should have. We're recording this on Monday night, so Monday Night Football literally just started. You and I are probably both streaming the game on our phones. So we're not going to be able to fully cover that game, but we will talk about what has happened at the very end of this episode. Just throwing that out there before I get ahead of myself and get sidetracked. Switching over to the Dolphins, is there anything to talk about here?
Yeah.
I mean, Tua looked better. He didn't look good. He looked better.
Yeah, the take I have on Tua is not a good one. And it hit me like the Friday after the game, because during the game I text you, like, Tua actually looks pretty good on third down. He was making some plays. They were putting some drives together. Obviously had the terrible pick to end it. We won't even talk about that. But he was just playing okay. Like, let me look at these stats. He was, even before the pick,
I mean, he's 22 or 34,
2 touchdowns, yards. $146. Okay. And I text you, I was like, Tua played pretty well. And then the next day it hit me. I was like, wait a second. This guy makes $53 million a year. Like, I shouldn't be looking at those stats and saying, like, oh, I feel pretty good about his game. In my head, that's an indictment on Tua. Like, I think
he either makes more money or the same money.
He makes a touch less.
Allen
I think Allen's at 55. He's at 53 a year. Like, we like Tua. Tua's a good guy. The concussions scare us, so everybody's pulling for him. But he's not a rookie anymore. He's not on the rookie deal. He gets $53 million a year. Like, you have to expect that guy to be able to go in and win games in Buffalo in your division. And that's hard. Like, it is. Nobody wins up there.
Well, what do you think is the problem, too? But we have seen Tua put up crazy stats before. And what has happened? It's just kind of the bottom is falling out.
It's crazy stat. It's just.
Is it people have figured out Mike McDaniel's offense? Is it Tyreek Hill's too old now?
The team always seems a little soft. They seem a little soft. If you take it to them a little bit, they kind of quit. Cold weather is their enemy. Like, if it's cold, you can forget it. That's why I thought it was great. Like, oh man, yeah,
this is best case scenario. You're playing.
They got Buffalo in September. 3. Like, that's great, but we just have to expect more from him. He makes $53 million a year. You have to be able to carry your team at that point, or the contract's going to be useless. The reason, Allen's contract is worth it. The reason Mahomes and these guys who have been paid is worth it is because they can go out there and win you games almost by themselves. He has not shown the ability to do that. So I think we treat him with kid gloves sometimes.
I mean, you look at Josh Allen's supporting cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at Josh Allen's supporting cast is Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, Elijah Moore. And then Tua over here has Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane. Just crazy good players around.
I don't know. That's all I got on Miami. They're 0-3.
It's going to be
not looking good.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a real long season for the Miami Dolphins. All right. Let's go ahead and get it over with. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, we talk about winners first on this show. So let's talk about the Panthers.
Yeah.
Bryce Young didn't play out of his mind, but took care of the football, and he moved the ball on third downs, which has been a big thing for him. It was a big thing for him last week, too, honestly, against the Cardinals. He was moving the ball on third downs, and he does it again.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. Like, good for the Panthers. Good for them. They get a win. A game that was just a blowout, never close. I will say, I will put this up as nothing against Bryce Young. I will put this up as the worst stat line ever for a quarterback in a 30-0 win. I mean, this dude, he threw no touchdowns. Let me find this. Where are we at here? He threw no touchdowns. How many yards did he throw for?
He was 16.
He threw for 121 yards and no touchdowns. and they won 30-0. Like, good for them. I have more to say about the Falcons, but let's shout out the Panthers. Good for them. They get on the board, and hey, they're tied with the Falcons in the division. Say what you want. With a win over them.
Okay, but we're all behind.
Yeah, everybody's behind the Buccaneers. For the Falcons, this is the worst game I've seen played by a team this year. Any team.
God.
I mean,
the only bright spot, and I mean the only bright spot, was Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Looked good. Receiving, running. He was efficient. That's literally the only good thing you can say. There was nothing good to take from this game.
That's going to be there every week. Like, you have that in your back pocket, right? Like, you know he's going to be good. But offensively, I mean, you never got to the 30-yard line.
Defensively, granted, I get it. It was J.J. McCarthy, but we completely shut down the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota had no chance. And we were on the road in Minnesota. That's a hostile environment. Completely smoked them. Completely shut them down. And there was, I don't know where the pass rush, the fight, nothing was there.
Yeah, this was, I mean, like I said, you never got to the 30-yard line on offense. Defense, I mean, you had the pick 6, so the defense didn't give up 30. They gave up, 23 or whatever it was. But yeah, not just bad all around. It was the worst kick return game I've ever seen by a team. Your kick returners, I don't think y'all got the ball on a kick return to the 15 once. I mean, every time it was like they would catch a ball. There was no way they should have caught, and then get to the 10. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, are you trying to lose this game? It was ugly. It was ugly. I'm sorry you had to watch that, Ben.
And then we've made some changes too. It's kind of interesting. Zach Robinson is apparently coming down from the booth. I saw this today. He's coming down from the booth. He's going to be calling plays from the field now. I don't know what that matters. And then apparently we fired our wide receiver coach today. And TJ Yates, who is the pass game coordinator, he is now taking over.
The
hadn't heard
Tar Heel.
TJ Yates' name in a while. He's the pass game coordinator for yes, sir. He's the pass game coordinator, and now he's also going to be taking over coaching for receivers.
Wow.
I don't know if that means that we're blaming the receivers.
That is.
I don't know what happened there, but it was kind of all of a sudden.
That is classic. Somebody has to pay for this, and we'll just blame it on somebody else. That's, if you watch the game, the wide receiver coach wasn't the problem. I'll tell you that. He may have been a problem. He wasn't the problem. I watched that game. So you don't try to sneak that past us. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, and then getting to Michael Penix, I don't even know, dude. Kirk Cousins came into this game. I think we should have put Kirk Cousins in the game sooner when it was still like 17-0 in the third quarter, and obviously Penix was just doing nothing. We should have put him in then and seen what could have happened because after the Minnesota game, at least I thought Atlanta's got a shot to win this division and be a actual playoff contender, and then this happens. If we wanted to keep that dream alive, why are we not at least going to give Kirk Cousins a chance in that?
Yeah.
And I guess you don't want to destroy Penix's confidence.
That's definitely
I get that. But our kicker is doing that enough.
That's another thing. Missed multiple kicks. I mean, it was just awful all around. Penix, it wasn't just the pick 6. The pick 6 was just one of the worst pick 6s you'll see. I mean, just gave it to the guy. But he also just missed some third down throws. Like, there was very convertible third downs, and he was just inaccurate on throws. He didn't get benched. It didn't strike me as a benching. It struck me as like, this game's out of hand. Let's put the backup in. That's what it felt like to me, because they pulled Bijan, they pulled Drake London at that time. So, I don't know. Hopefully better things ahead. Hopefully not next week, because they play my Washington Commanders, but hopefully better things ahead for the Falcons. It won't be worse.
All right. We spent a lot of time on here, obviously.
I'll tell you that. It won't be worse.
Are you sure? Speaking of being worse, the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. Holy crap. This was a romp, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we need to have a conversation the Bengals are bad. I understand that. Should they just keep J.J. McCarthy on the bench for a little while and let Carson Wentz do Carson Wentz things?
Look, I'm very happy for Carson Wentz. I'm very happy for him. Let's not forget who Carson Wentz is. Okay, it may not come this week, but it'll come. He will remind you. He is like year 2 Josh Allen. That's who Carson Wentz is. He's year 2 Josh Allen, just all over again with a little bit less running ability. And that's...
Did we forget that Carson Wentz almost won an MVP?
And no one has ever gotten more credit for almost winning an MVP than ever. I mean, it's brought up like...
Maybe Josh Allen a few times.
It's brought up like he won 3 MVPs. But ever since he came back from that injury, he just wasn't the same guy. The mistakes are crazy. I mean, we've seen this guy throw a left-handed pick 6 while getting tackled by 2 guys from his own end zone. We've seen this guy do that. He will do it again. I don't know if it's going to be exactly that. He will make some mistake that reminds you.
You see Patrick Mahomes do that same stuff, but it works.
Well, that's a huge difference, Ben. But it works versus the worst pick 6 you've ever seen is a massive difference. He's going to do something like that.
That's a good point.
Like I said, I still believe in McCarthy. They're clearly like the offense looks better with Wentz. We'll see what this turns into. I'm pulling for Carson Wentz. I think he's fun. I like Minnesota. I like the Vikings. So I think they go across the pond this week. So should be some fun. So
yeah, they played the Steelers.
So that'll be fun.
If you'll notice something too that happened for the Vikings, A, obviously they ran the ball really well, but B, they targeted their best players. Justin Jefferson led the team with 7 targets. TJ Hawkinson right behind him with 6 targets. I don't think that's been the case for the past 2 weeks. They got their playmakers the ball.
Romo made a good point. I think Romo was calling this game, which CBS got screwed. They thought they were going to get J.J. McCarthy and Joe Burrow, and they did not. But so Romo was calling this game. He made a good point that Christian Darrisaw had been out for Minnesota. He was back for this week, and he made a good point about Hawkinson that he had to block a lot the first 2 weeks because Darrisaw wasn't there. And then as soon as Darrisaw's back, he gets back to being able to run routes. So that's a big deal. That was a good point by him. So hopefully that continues for TJ. And then the Bengals.
All right, switching over to the Bengals. Not a lot to talk about here. The Vikings have a very good defense. B-Flow can cook up some stuff over there. Jake Browning was obviously not ready. And
I don't know what we were thinking last week, saying like hopefully they'll be in contention. Maybe they can make something happen. Like this was a team that we said going in, dude, if they don't score 30, they're not going to. That's the type of defense they have. Like they were like, if Burrow can't score 30, look, Jake Browning can do a decent job. He ain't going to score 30 a week. He's just not. I don't care what players he has, how awesome these guys are.
No.
So, we could be looking at a rough season.
And last, we give flowers to what's his name? The Isaiah Rodgers with 2 touchdowns in this game. Crazy. I believe he got a PFF graded him with a 99.9 defensive rating, which is like the highest they've ever given out.
Gotta be as high as it
That's insane.
Gets. So.
But yeah, not a whole lot to take from this game, if we're being honest. All in all, which is kind of weird. Pittsburgh, New England. Yeah. The Steelers score. The Steelers win. I don't know if it really felt like a win. This was there was a lot of ugly games.
There was
this week. A lot of ugly games, and this I felt like was one of them. Aaron Rodgers gets it done, 16-23, 2 touchdowns.
Let's take some time here. I know football. When you talk about history of football, especially the quarterback position, it's all about winning, right? How many Super Bowls do you win? Baseball's much more about stats. Football's about winning. But let's take some time to acknowledge Aaron Rodgers passed Brett Favre this weekend. All-time touchdowns goes Brady, Breeze, Manning, Rodgers. Like, that's a big deal. 4th all-time. I know people have soured on him the last few years, how he's handled a couple situations, whatever. I still love the guy. He's always been one of my favorite players. And to pass Brett Favre, the guy who he sat behind for 3 years, Man, that had to feel good. I love that for Aaron Rodgers. I love that for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I think I'm not saying Aaron's perfect by any means, obviously, but I think he has gotten a bad rap by the media and by the Jets. If we're being honest, the Jets are an absolute disaster. We'll get to them later. But good for him. This was a very Steelers
win. The defense looked way better.
Didn't do anything crazy. Yeah, the defense was way better. Aaron throws one pick, but like still, that felt like a Steelers game.
It did.
And switching over to the New England Patriots. Let's go Drake May first. Give him, let's go Drake May first, and then we'll tackle the running back position. Believe me,
bro. They had 5 turnovers. If they have 3 turnovers, they win. 3 turnovers is bad. If they just have 3, 100% they win this game. May lost a fumble, right? But he had a end zone pick. Ramondre had a goal line fumble from the 1. Those are 2 separate drives. Like, I believe the Ramondre fumble was right after Rodgers' pick that got him like inside the 20 or something. Yes. Dude, that's awful. Like, all you have to do is take care of the football a little bit. They couldn't do it. Turn it over 5 times. Ben, when you turn it over 5 times, unless you're the Lions against the Texans last year, you lose. You just lose if you do that. You can't win.
We'll talk about the Texans soon too, but yeah. I mean, in the fourth quarter, this is something for fantasy players to note. In the fourth quarter, this is after Antonio Gibson's fumble. This is after Ramondre Stevenson has lost 2 fumbles in the same game. Travion Henderson took 26 of 31 possible snaps in the fourth quarter. So even from a non-fantasy perspective, this was your second pick in a new regime. Can we start giving him the football and stop giving it to Ramondre Stevenson?
Right, and he needed something like this for just the other guys to mess up, right? Because the reason they're playing ahead of him is not because they're more talented, it's because they're more, probably situationally better experienced. That's at least the view. But Ramondre's always fumbled. That's always been his problem. Ramondre has always had a problem fumbling. He got benched last year for it. He gets benched in this game. So we'll see. Hopefully Henderson gets a lot of run.
I hope so. I would like to see it from a real life and obviously a little bit of fantasy perspective. The Indiana Jones in Indianapolis, Colts versus Titans. This has been a Linsanity run that we were not expecting whatsoever. And, dude, first I want to start by saying the Colts have not played elite competition. So I see a lot of people jumping on that bandwagon like, oh, the Colts, are they legit? Let's pump the brakes. The best team they've played is the Broncos. But still, with Daniel Jones coming out of this 3-0, and 3-0 in relatively dominant fashion, is pretty impressive.
Look, man, he looks good. He looks good. He looks so comfortable in the pocket, which you never really saw from him in New York. He looks great. They're 3-0. We will see. I am not a guy who is all in on Daniel Jones. Similar to how I felt about Carson Wentz. We're gonna see something soon that reminds you, like, oh I remember that guy. He is. Hey, man, they're 3-0, and I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders at all. They're certainly, they might be my pick to win that division right now. I mean, that division is weak, really weak. So, I think right now they'd be my pick to win it.
I mean, right now they're going to win it. They're going to run away and win it. I mean, Daniel Jones, he's protecting the football. We have said that we think Shane Steichen is a good play caller. Obviously, he proved that in Philly. But we've said he's a good play caller. It's been an Anthony Richardson problem. So we get him a Daniel Jones. I understand Daniel Jones, the issues that he's had. Daniel Jones is a smart guy. And, it looks like Steichen's kind of cleaned up the turnovers. And I don't think Steichen needs him to be Superman. He doesn't need him to be Anthony Richardson. I've got Jonathan Taylor. I've got an elite offensive line. I've got surprisingly good weapons in Indianapolis. Michael Pittman's a great receiver. Alec Pierce is a good receiver. Josh Downs is a good receiver. Tyler Warren has really popped onto the scene as one of the best tight ends right now in the NFL in his rookie season. And it's just a perfect mesh right now. So, and yes, they have not played an elite schedule, but
3-0 is 3-0.
I agree with you. They're my pick.
3-0 is 3-0. I don't care who you play.
Yeah. And the Tennessee Titans, that's the same problems they've had all year. It's the same problem. I don't think Cam Ward necessarily looks bad. However, the pick six he threw in the first 3 plays of the game, that was a really, really. I mean, that was a Michael Penix pick six right there. Just hand the ball to the guy.
Almost the same thing. And when it happens that early, man, that's crushing. That is crushing to go out on the field knowing we're down. It's a minute in, we're down 7, and they get the ball at the half. Like that's crushing. But he still looks more comfortable than I would think. Like it's crazy. I keep saying that. Like they keep losing, but he looks better than I would have expected him to. Really.
And it's going to be hard for any rookie quarterback. I don't care who it is, when they've got to go out there and throw 38 passes a game, and their running game is not being efficient at all. It's going to be hard for a guy like Cam Ward, as good as I think he is, and as much potential as he's got. He's not going to win many games right now with this formula. All right, not too much more to say on the Colts or Titans side there. Let's switch over to another AFC South matchup. Gosh. This was another doozy of a game. Golly.
Ben.
We need to have a conversation about both of these quarterbacks in this game. Both quarterbacks, we've been saying it all year, the conversation on these guys. They're not doing anything to change their minds. Trevor Lawrence is the quote-unquote winning quarterback. He went 20 for 40, only threw one, didn't throw a touchdown, threw a pick. Brian Thomas Jr. salvages his day because he has a 46-yard catch and run, but he only has 2 catches. Travis Hunter only has 1 catch.
No, the Jags.
This is a disaster.
This game, it was 10-3 with 10 minutes left in the ball game, and Trevor threw, just terrible pick, right? Awful pick. He may have been trying to force stuff because they did have a lot of drops. That's what Cohen said after the game, at least. But just an awful pick. And then they have a blown coverage touchdown. The Texans on the first play or maybe second play, blown coverage touchdown to Nico, right? Like way blown, like blown coverage.
The one guy you can't let a blown coverage happen to is
high
Nico
school
Collins.
Blown
That's
coverage.
Their only guy.
Like nobody back there.
Yeah.
Outside of that sequence, this was the worst. I would have rather watched paint dry yesterday afternoon than watch this football game. It was so boring. So many 3 and outs. So many missed opportunities on third down. Both sides. Jags come away with the win, which at the end of the day, it's a huge deal. Like they are 2-1 in that division. The Texans are 0-3. Can you beat the Colts twice? That's what it's going to come down to. But Ben,
as of right now,
I said last week I was not worried about BTJ at all. I wasn't worried. I watched this whole game, like thinking, like with the view in mind. Let's look at how Trevor, BTJ, Cohen. Let's look at how this dynamic is working. I cannot. If you didn't watch the whole game, I can't tell you how bad it was. Like he had the 40-yard whatever catch and run at the end of the game. That was awesome. That was big. Hopefully that gets his confidence going forward. Before that, it was one of the 5 worst games I've ever seen a receiver play. Dropped passes like crazy on third down, big plays. He had a miscommunication with Trevor where he's literally blocking the corner and Trevor tried to throw him the ball at one point. He thought it was a run play. He's blocking the corner and Trevor throws it his way. Like it was so bad. It was so bad. Maybe the wrist injury is real and it really is affecting him. He really looked bad. Now, hopefully the catch at the end gets him going, but I was shocked at how bad it looked. It was way worse than I would have ever thought. It was abysmal.
Parker Washington, I think, is leading the team in targets through 3 weeks.
Yeah. And I get it. At a certain point, if you're Trevor, like I know he's my best player. He keeps dropping the ball. I can't throw it to him. He's going to drop it.
Yeah.
Like Oh, it was so bad. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully that last catch gets him going. That won the game. That play won the game. Travis Etienne scored an idiotic touchdown the next play, which he never should have. But that play essentially ended the game. Jags somehow they should be 3-0. They lose to the Bengals in a game. Joe Burrow leaves the game, or they're 3-0. You know,
Browning.
but whatever. Texans, my gosh. I mean, the worst offense I've seen. Like it's the worst offense in the NFL.
Is D'Amico Ryans? He's got to be on the hot seat, right?
I don't think so.
He's got to be.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. The one thing that makes me think
maybe he doesn't get, maybe not this year, but unless they just completely flop. But
I mean, the one thing they've already fired the OC from last year. Maybe they thought that would fix it. It is not. Like I said, the one touchdown they scored was a blown coverage. Like if it wasn't for that blown coverage, they score 3 points in the game. I mean, it was so bad. Oh my gosh. I'm pulling for Stroud. Look, I like CJ Stroud. I really like Nico. I like a lot of the Texans. I like D'Amico Ryans. I'm pulling for him. Man, they got to switch it up. 0-3. To come back from 0-3 is really difficult, especially when there's the two other contenders in your division are 2-1 and 3-0. So we'll see how they come back from it. But my goodness, that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah, I keep seeing people throw around the stat of of the very few teams that have come back from 0-2 to win divisions and make playoffs, and obviously the Chiefs I think are going to do it clearly, but the Texans are not the Chiefs. They do not have Patrick Mahomes on that team. They do not have Andy Reid.
Yeah,
this is going to be tough. All right, probably surprisingly one of the best games of the day. You wouldn't have said this at halftime. Rams Eagles. This was a tale of two halves if I've ever seen it. The Rams are dominating the Eagles at halftime. I think the Eagles had 33 yards of total offense at halftime. 33 total yards. This is an offense with Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith. 33 total yards at halftime.
Yeah.
And the Rams come out of the gate and score a touchdown to open the quarter, to make it 26-7 at the start the third quarter.
Yeah.
And Jalen Hurts, who everybody says he can't throw, puts the cape on. And once again, finds a way to win the game.
They just hung around. And when you're as talented as the Eagles, if you can find ways to just hang around, literally, just don't lose the game in the third quarter. Don't let this get to 33-7. Don't let it get to 30-7. Just keep it in a place where, hey, we get one turnover here. We scored this touchdown. Like, we can get back in it. And they did. And Jalen, much like Josh Allen, he refuses to make mistakes. He just will not make the big mistake that loses him the game. And lots of times, quarterbacks like him, the rushing quarterbacks who you doubt their throwing ability, they do make those mistakes. And that's why you doubt them. He won't do it. As much as I want him to as a Commanders fan, as much as I wanted the Eagles to lose this game, he just did. He did everything he could to not lose. Like it wasn't like he was just dropping bombs, and it wasn't, Josh Allen or prime Mahomes. It was just, I'm going to keep making this 12-yard play. I'm going to pick up this 3rd and 4. I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to lose the game, and we're talented enough to get there in the end. It helps when you block 2 kicks. But man, Jalen was really impressive in this one.
A lot of block kicks.
What was the deal with that?
A lot of block kicks.
What was the deal with all those? That was insane.
Yeah, you had one, the Jets game, the Jets block a kick. Was there two
blocks in this game? The Browns blocked a kick.
And I think there was
Browns
two
blocked
more.
a kick.
Browns blocked one.
Did the Panthers block one? No. I don't remember who else, but
no, the Falcons just missed.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, they did enough, and they come away, and they're in fantastic shape for the 1 seed after that win against the Rams, 3-0 with a win against the Rams. I mean, fantastic shape for the 1 seed.
Yeah. Yep. Last thing to note on the Eagles, A.J. Brown's back.
Yeah.
We've been saying it's going to happen soon. 10 targets, 109 yards, and a touchdown. Been waiting
Good for
on
him.
that.
I mean,
all right. On the Rams side.
Yeah. No, that was it. Good for him.
Anything of note there? Stafford, okay, not great. Kyron in the run game looks good. Puka is, my God.
Puka's amazing. I mean, we talk about guys that people use the fantasy football players use the term, he's a better real life player than a fantasy player. And it's typically for guys who are not good in fantasy. Puka's super good in fantasy.
Like Jameson Williams.
Puka's super good in fantasy, and he's better in real life than he is in fantasy. Like, I can't even imagine how.
He's the wide receiver one.
And he's better in real life. He makes that team go. He's just that good. Maybe they got a little complacent in the second half, but the play calling, it didn't stand out to me as like, oh, you got way too conservative. It wasn't one of those deals. I think they just got out to a lead on a team that's probably better than them and didn't put them away. And wasn't able to get. You have a few bad drives in the second half, and this is what happens.
I mean, the Eagles shut them out after the opening drive of the third quarter. That was it. That was the last time the Rams scored.
Yep.
So, better days are ahead for the Rams.
They did have two
Obviously,
kicks blocked.
It's a scary win for the Eagles.
Like, they do have 2 kicks blocked, and
yeah. They should have won that game. They should have. They actually
had
did
a field goal to
win
it right there at the end. That kills you, but it's not. It is a little random. Block kicks are a little random, but it's not completely random. Like, you have control over it, and you just can't let that stuff happen. So they made that mistake, and that was enough.
Yeah. I would say the scariest thing for the rest of the NFC is the fact that the Eagles don't even look like they're clicking right now, and they're just finding ways to win games.
There's a lot of
when they start clicking,
there's
it's
a lot of
ugly.
Chiefs last 2 years in this team. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're scary. All right, let's see, where are we at? One of these sneaky best games of the day: the Jets and Buccaneers. Man, okay. You tell me where you are on this, and I feel like you probably agree. I know everybody's stance on Mahomes, but this, not including years past, I don't think I can put Mahomes in the top 3 quarterbacks right now, the way they're playing. The top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, and I would put these guys just in tier 1. And you can honestly, the way Baker Mayfield's playing, put them in any order you want of Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and Baker Mayfield are the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Right this season.
Those guys are the 3 leading MVP candidates. I will say that. I will say they're the 3 leading MVP candidates. But yeah, I don't mean that as a slight to Baker. He is having a great season. Like, Baker he did it again. He did enough again. I'll be honest, I have no idea how good the Bucs are. They're 3-0, and I have no clue how good they are. Like, they squeak by Atlanta, they squeak by the Jets. We've seen those 2 teams have some bad performances other than that. Like, I don't know how good they are, but they're 3-0 in that division, and I don't want to say it looks over, but it kind of looks over already. Week 3. I mean, it can't be, right? We got a long way to go, but they're in a great spot. Great spot. I feel really good if I'm a Bucs fan.
They've already played their hardest division game, which was on the road against
I thought
Atlanta.
their MVP of this game, I didn't even think it was Baker. I thought it was McLaughlin. I mean, how many field goals can this guy make? How many 50-yarders can this guy put through? He was great. I mean, that's a huge weapon. Like, people think, a kicker, it's just, it's nice to have one, but you don't have to have one. Oh, no, you have to have one.
The same thing in Dallas.
If you have the Falcons kicker,
Atlanta is living
if you have the
proof
Falcons
of that right
kicker
now.
or Washington's kicker, if you have some of those guys, they lose this game. Like, it's that big of a deal, and to have that guy, especially when you play outdoors in the warm, where you really have a chance to go after some kicks, it's such a huge weapon. So good for the Bucs. Good for the Bucs.
Yeah. No, I mean, for me, it's the same argument with the Eagles. Not to a lesser extent, obviously, they're not as good as the Eagles. But it's the fact that Baker just time and time again is just winning these games, doing whatever he has to do.
I would say the Bucs have probably, other than the Eagles, the Bucs have the best chance at the 1 seed. I would say that.
Yep, that's very true. Anything on the Jets? Tyrod Taylor looks better than Justin Fields.
They should have never been in this one. They get the block kick, return for a touchdown.
Another block
return
kick.
it for a touchdown. And Tyrod threw a bad pick six.
I'll be honest, that might have been the worst case scenario for the Jets, was to block that and return it for a touchdown. Because then Baker gets the ball back,
and
he just takes him down and wins the game.
But Tyrod threw a pick six, and they had that blocked kick six. So that's the game, Tyrod actually looked okay. Like their offense, he put together probably 3 or 4 really good drives. But it's the Jets. They're 0-3. We'll see.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's
got 2 more 1 o'clock.
Next game here. 2 more 1 o'clock. Commanders Raiders. Commanders 2-1.
I thought it was
2-1 without Jaden Daniels.
I thought it was awesome. Like Mariota got a lot of help. He played pretty well, really, but he got a lot of help. He had the punt.
Jeremy McNichols cracked off like a 70-yard touchdown.
Jeremy McNichols, he had the punt return for a touchdown. It was a great team win. It was a great team win all the way around. Special teams was awesome. Like field position battle, we won it all game. We moved to 2-1. My guess is the plan. I mean, if he's super healthy, he'll play. But my guess is the plan is for Jaden not to play this week against Atlanta. Go with Mariota one more time. Get him completely healthy. But I thought I listened to some sports talk last week after our episode. I thought people were a little too down on the Commanders. Like they were talking about the Commanders like they were done for the year. And I was like, they lost to the Packers in Lambeau on Thursday night. I think they're still pretty good. And if they can get Jaden back healthy, and they showed it this week, it was just a really good win. Really good win. And the game wasn't even that close. It was like, what was the final? Like 41-20 or 40-21. It wasn't that close. Like there's a garbage time touchdown in there with like 3 minutes left. Like it was not that close of a game. Like it was a blowout.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say switching over to the Raiders is Geno on paper looks like he had a pretty awesome game. 19-29, 289, 3 touchdowns, no picks, but the stat line is deceiving.
Yeah,
for the Raiders.
It was terrible. There was, like I said, garbage time, long touchdown. Like it was that offensive line for the Raiders, that their run blocking has to be the worst in the NFL. Like Ashton Jeanty actually showed a little burst in spots this week. But he's not going to be able to get anything go. He's not going to have the monster weeks because he gets tackled before the line of scrimmage every play. They're bad, man. They're bad. Yeah. The pass blocking didn't look as bad as the run blocking did to me, to my non-super scouty NFL eye. But man, that run blocking looked rough.
Yeah, I see so many people online saying like Ashton Jeanty was a bad pick. I'm like, no, he's just running behind a bad offensive line.
But a bad offensive line doesn't cover it. Like I'm talking about getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage every play. Probably 4 out of 5 plays. Crazy.
All right, the last 1 o'clock game. Would you say this one or the Atlanta game was the most shocking game of the day?
This one. Not even because, really? Like, honestly, there's probably some power rankings out there where going into last week, Packers were 1, Browns were 32. That probably exists somewhere. Like, that's not a crazy take. But the reason I say this one is because it's not just the teams that were going against each other. This game was 10-0 with 3 minutes left, and it wasn't that close. It felt like the Packers were blowing them out. It felt like the Browns couldn't move the ball an inch. With 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, it was 10-0. And the Browns go field goal, Jordan Love terrible interception, touchdown. The Packers get the ball back, 10-10. They go down before the blocked field goal. Josh Jacobs fumbled. And the Browns recovered it. They reviewed it and said it wasn't a fumble. Dude, it looked like a fumble to me. He definitely fumbled. They said his knee was down. It was tough to tell.
I didn't see that.
Dude, this was like a minute and 40 left in the game. This like that can't happen. Even to make it that close, it can't happen. Anyways, they get the ball, whatever. They go for the field goal, and it gets blocked. And then they give up a field goal. Like, that's crazy. It was 10-0 with 3 minutes left.
Then you just saw the veteran Joe Flacco kick in and just like, hey, we got a chance to win the game. I'm just gonna not screw up, and they win.
Crazy. They had their
Quinshawn Judkins.
Quinshawn looked
really
great.
Good.
Quinshawn looked great. They had their the drive where the Browns got a field goal with 3 minutes left. Dude, there was like 3 different times it was extended by third down penalties. Third down, illegal contact, pass interference, whatever it was. Like, it just kept getting extended, and they end up they hung around enough, man. They hung around enough, and this is the worst loss of the year so far. I said the Falcons played the worst game of the year, but to me, this is the worst loss of the year, not just because of the teams, but because of, dude, you had a 10-point lead with 3 minutes left against the Browns. You got to close that out.
It's theoretically, especially when your defense is playing as well as it is, it shouldn't even be hard to close
and it wasn't
out.
the defense. Jordan Love had this.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, your defense is playing fine. They just choked. The offense choked.
For sure. Jordan Love had the single worst play of the NFL season so far. That pick, I mean, dude, you're playing the Browns.
If on any of those drives, they just punt the ball,
exactly what I was about to say. If that drive ends in a punt, they win the game. But instead, you throw a pick and give them the ball at the 20-yard line or whatever it was. And they got to go 20 yards to score, and they do. Quinshawn gets the 1-yard touchdown, and God, that was a bad loss. And a loss that's going to have big implications down the line. I don't know if it's going to be division, wild card. I don't know what it's going to be. But they're going to look back at this one and really kick themselves for losing this football game.
Yeah. I'm not worried about the Packers this season. I still think they're one of the top 2 to 3 teams in the NFC East. But this is one they absolutely let a win.
Oh yeah, this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt.
For sure. Yep. All right, 4 o'clock window. The game I was most intent on because I like Justin Herbert. I have him a whole lot in fantasy, and I just want to see him succeed. The Chargers and the Broncos. Man, Justin Herbert, when it needed to happen, he made it happen. He got sacked 5 times in this game, and he got hit more than 5 times. He was getting abused by this Denver defense. And in the fourth quarter, got to have touchdowns, got to move this ball. He does it.
He did it, man. And like I said,
the touchdown to Keenan Allen was spectacular. I mean, he's under pressure, moves out, throws it around a guy to Keenan, who's covered, by the way, still fits it in there for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Unreal. This is when I say, and I understand all the other stuff, and maybe your way of saying is better, is Justin Herbert is playing as one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
He doesn't have the numbers as like a Josh Allen does, but I would give him the MVP right now because he's doing the things that I've never seen him do in his career. Where in his career, I've seen him throw for 400 yards. I've seen him throw 4 touchdowns in a game and have super clean games. But it's always come with like the Chargers are going to charger and they find a way to lose the game in the end. And it's not always his fault, but I mean, he's a part of it. He's on the team. He's the quarterback. This year's different, man. I mean, I think as fans, one thing we don't give enough credit to, we will just look at 2 division opponents and we think, well, this division opponent's way better than this one, so it should be an easy game. That's just not how it works, man. Division games are hard. You're playing people who know you. You see them twice a year. They know everything you're going to do. To start out 3-0 with all division games, I don't think we're giving enough props to what that means and how much that means for them going forward the rest of the season. No. This is awesome. Great start. It really was kind of an ugly win, but when you're on your 3rd straight division game, you're just trying to get the W in the column. And he did it, man. He did enough. Great for the Chargers. This is great for the Chargers.
Yeah, he has the one interception, but the interception, if you watched it, it was not his fault. He got tipped at the line. It was actually on line to hit Quentin Johnston, so it was looking really good. So that's not on him. One of the craziest plays Herbert made, and this actually ties into one of the sucky things for the Chargers, is Najee Harris tears his Achilles on a play, which sucks. Definitely his season is done. He's definitely not going to get re-signed by the Chargers now. He was only on a 1-year deal, so this is devastating for him career-wise, because now he has to be an unrestricted free agent coming off an Achilles. Is going to be tough, man. That's going to be really hard.
Absolutely devastating, because
But he watches Najee Harris blow his Achilles.
I was just going to say, I mean, he was a first-round pick, so he got a big rookie deal, but really where you make your money for, like, generational wealth is on your second contract. He didn't get it. He signed a 1-year deal for what, 9 or 10 million, something like that. Then this happens. I mean, he's going to have to sign for dang near the minimum his next deal and try to prove it, and then maybe get like 2 years, 8 million somewhere. Like, that's what he's looking at. Best case scenario.
And then we forget. I mean, that's generational health for you or I, probably, but I would love it now.
Yeah, but when he's looking at his career coming out of college and thinking, man, I'm going to make 30, 40, 50 million in this league. I hate it, but it doesn't look like that's in the cards.
And you got to think too, he's 27 right now, so he's going to be 28 years old next year coming off.
He's going to have to sign a J.K. Dobbins deal for sure.
Yeah. It was impressive with Justin Herbert on that play because it's a play action. Najee busts his Achilles. Herbert just jumps over him mid-play and throws a dart to Quentin Johnston. I thought that was pretty cool. I hate it for Najee, but that was an impressive play.
Can we give a shout out? We won't spend too much time on Denver. Can we give a shout out to Quentin Johnston? So this guy was like a laughing stock. He was an absolute laughing stock the first couple years of his career, and he has turned himself into a guy who plays a role on a good offense. I don't think he's like an elite player. He's not an elite receiver. He's not that. He still has limitations.
No.
But he has clearly worked his butt off.
He still is not for a big receiver, he's not a jump ball guy. He's not a hands catcher still to this day. He never has been.
No, but he's worked his butt off, and he is a guy who can play a role on a really good offense, and good for him. Good for him on that.
And I think Herbert and the coaching staff trust him right now.
He's in the rotations. I did write this note down. This is interesting. 5 guys had 7 targets. Like, first off, it's great for fantasy. I think they're best if Herbert isn't throwing it that much. We need to get that closer to 35 than 47. But 5 guys with 7 targets is a lot. That's a lot of spreading the ball around.
And it is a lot, and I agree they need to bring it down some. But you see that kind of success with Buffalo is Josh Allen doesn't really have a go-to guy. Everybody's going to touch the ball, basically. And I trust everybody around me to touch the ball. So that is a winning formula in my head as well. They do need to get the running game going, but all in all, Chargers looking great. Great overall. Obviously, incredible setup with 3-0. They can, if they play their cards right, they can walk away with the division and just keep away from the Chiefs. If they play their cards right. Denver also lost this game. As much as the Chargers won it, Denver lost it. Bo Nix missed, I think I counted 3, maybe 4, just completely overshot, wide open receivers, missing guys left and right. As much as the Chargers won this, Bo Nix and the Broncos lost it.
Yeah, it just hadn't been the start they're looking for. I haven't been as high on them as other people were going in. Maybe they can right the ship and turn it around. Really good coach. I don't super believe in their quarterback, but a lot of people do. So it's just a tough division, man. Just a tough division.
Yeah. And I think they will be fine. Obviously, their defense is stellar. The main thing is Bo Nix has got to clean up a lot of these misses. He's got to be more accurate. Some of these guys are running wide open. You've got to hit him. When he misses overthrows Marvin Mims, right him in a walk-in touchdown. I think he overthrew Cortland Sutton would have been if not a walk-in touchdown, like a 40, 50-yard gain. Those are gotta have it plays. Those are plays you're going to look back in film and say, if we make that, we win.
Yep.
All right. Next game we don't need to spend a ton of time on. Seahawks, Saints. Seahawks just, when you get the special team touchdowns, those kind of flip games, especially in game scripts like this, where it just got out of hand for them, and they weren't able to recover.
Ben, they scored 44 and didn't score a touchdown in the second half. This was just. I don't have much to say. I mean, we don't think the Saints are very good. The Seahawks, just everything went right early, and then, I mean, it was over. So pulling for the Saints.
Funny thing to note is Kenneth Walker. No Zach Charbonnet, so Kenneth Walker gets all the early work. He has 16 carries. Basically does nothing with him. He has 16 carries, 38 yards, but he does score the 2 touchdowns. So he finally gets the chance to have the full workload, and he averages like through 2.5 yards a carry.
He got game scripted. Like normally running backs, when you're up big, that's like what you want.
That's true.
They pulled him in the third quarter. They're like, yeah, this game's over. Let's get him out of here. It was whatever.
Yeah. But 16 carries, 38 is 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he looked bad. 2 of those was like.
I just thought it was funny.
I mean, when you score 1 yard,
after
touchdowns, really. I mean, even if you have a great game, that brings down your average too. So,
It's true. I don't know if there's a ton to spend on the Saints.
Move on.
I mean, again, Rattler's throwing 40 passes. Yeah. You're just not going to work. 49ers, Cardinals. The Cardinals make me want to claw my eyes out every time I watch them. The big news for the 49ers is I just completely blanked on his name. The defensive end, Bosa. He tore his ACL. He's out for the year. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, that's one that you can't reach your ceiling as a team. That's one of those where, like, who knows? Maybe if Aiden Hutchinson doesn't go down last year, the Lions win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's legitimately that big of a loss. That's the difference in 1 or 2 playoff wins. That's the difference in winning a division versus getting a wild card spot, or making a wild card versus missing the playoffs altogether. This is a really big loss. Happy they got the win. I'm actually so happy they got the win.
They are 3-0.
Like, could not be happier they got the win. Just because I'm so done with the Cardinals, and I figured out what it is, and we'll talk about it. But this is really tough for San Francisco. The injuries were piling up already, and they were like about to get some guys back. Man, this one hurts. This one hurts, Ben.
Yeah, Purdy will be back in probably 2 to 3 weeks. Brandon Ayuk, they're hoping for him to be back in 2 to 3 weeks. George Kittle's going to be back in probably 2 weeks. This is not the time to lose Nick Bosa. It's tough. That's really all I've got on the 49ers. The Cardinals, we've got more to say on. I don't know where you're going to go with things. I want to claw my eyes out watching the Cardinals because there's so much potential and they just refuse to use it. The only thing that I've got written down here, it's easy to blame Kyler, and a lot of it is on Kyler. Don't get me wrong. Some of the blame here has got to be on Marvin Harrison Jr. It's got to be. He's got to be better. There's a reason Kyler's not throwing in the ball this much. Kyler doesn't trust him.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know if it's don't trust him. I think
he dropped 2 passes. He dropped a touchdown, and he dropped what could have been a walk-in touchdown. He dropped 2 potential touchdowns.
I think
easy ones.
The Cardinals play like they play every single drive. This is what makes us so mad about them, right? It's not the Marvin Harrison Jr. stuff. What makes us so mad is they play every single drive like they're up 10 with 4 minutes left, and they're just trying to run the clock out. Like, if they're not down by 10 points, they play like they have a comfortable lead and are just trying to run time off the clock. And it is infuriating. Infuriating. They have got to be the worst second down team of all time. Their second downs are awful. Like I've said it week in, week out. If they pick up 8 yards on first down, I guarantee you they're either taking a sack on second down or running it for 1 yard. Like, it's so insufferable. There's so many third downs.
I wish I could figure out the stat, but they've got to average at least negative or 1
It's
yard.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
On second down.
Yeah.
That's got to be
crazy. It's crazy. They're frustrating, but so we can move on.
Worst news is James Conner with a season-ending ankle injury. It sucks for James Conner because similar to Najee Harris, obviously James has gotten his second contract before. James has made good money, but at 30 years old, and they've got an out on his contract this year at 30 years old, could be it for James Conner. I hate to say that, but could be.
He's probably going to be on a roster. I feel differently about him than I do Eckler. Like he might be done for good. Conner will probably make a roster because this isn't an Achilles like Eckler's was, but he's certainly done making a lot of money. He's certainly done being a starter. So, you hate it for him. Hate it for the team and hate it for him most of all.
Yep. Last two games, and then we'll get out of here. Chicago, Dallas. I know you enjoyed this one. Anyone who's not a Dallas fan enjoyed this one, unless you hate the Bears, which that could be the case. Something clicked today. I think it may be just Dallas's defense sucked, but something clicked.
I got a few Ben Johnson takes. So we saw some Ben Johnson in this game. We saw some Ben Johnson. We saw some trickery.
The Luther Burden touchdown.
Yeah, the Luther Burden flea flicker touchdown. We saw another. There was another trick play. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think they scored on it. We saw some Ben Johnson in this game. So I have one positive Ben Johnson outlook and one negative one. So
Okay.
I don't want to say negative. I'll say concerning. Concerning for me. The positive is this. Of the offensive mastermind boy genius types that have gotten head coaching jobs, to me, the ones that have not worked are the ones that come in and are super player minded, super loose with discipline and that kind of deal. I'm thinking of Mike McDaniels. I'm thinking of Cliff Kingsbury. Some of those guys. Those are the ones that haven't worked, right? The ones that have worked are your Shanahans, your McVay, who has an edge. He can be player friendly, but he's also got an edge. Kevin O'Connell, same way, kind of stern. Ben Johnson seems to be in that camp. He's calling this team out for their practice habits. He is. I mean, he's talking to the media about Caleb, not in a super demeaning way, but in a, hey man, we expect this out of him and we believe he can get there type way. So I really like that. If I'm a Bears fan, I really like that. I like that press conference he did last week, and they obviously rallied for him. Here's the concerning thing, and I've seen it with the Lions for the past couple years. And obviously he was very much part of the fabric of that team. And you see it through the first 3 weeks of the Bears. I don't know if it's his play call. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of front runner in him. This week, things went well, and they went really well. When they're out ahead and he's able to run flea flickers and do all this stuff, it looks really good. But when the Minnesota Vikings punch him in the mouth a little bit in the fourth quarter, or when they go up against Detroit and things aren't going well early in the game, man, it seems it's two completely different teams. Completely different teams. I saw that in Detroit.
I've like you said, I've seen that.
I saw that
Detroit.
in Detroit.
Like a few years ago when Detroit would pop everybody, but then they would run into a Baltimore team and lose 38-6 because Baltimore was physical with them.
Exactly right. So how much of that is maybe that was Detroit and this is a 3-game sample, so we can't take that? And how much of that is, that's part of the offense, and when you can't get something going, it's really tough to find something new. And I don't know. That's just a concern I have, but man, they looked really good. Caleb had some swagger. Obviously he looked great, the 4 touchdowns. And what we need to talk about though is Rome has established himself as a wide receiver 1 in this league. That's what he is.
Yeah. Now it wasn't, he had one flashy play, didn't have a super ton of volume, which will be a little bit of concern in a Ben Johnson offense sometimes when all of his stuff is working. sometimes the star can get game scripted out, but
he's that good.
I mean, he's just smoked Diggs on
he's
that
that
route.
Good. So,
but
that's all I got for Chicago.
Anything on Dallas,
dude? First thing, I don't know anything about Dallas.
CeeDee Lamb's going to be out for a month. We'll start with that.
Right. I was just going to start by saying I don't know how good Dallas might be terrible. They might be okay. I don't know. I can't tell. But the CeeDee Lamb play, I wanted to talk about this because I look up, and I look in the backfield and I'm thinking, is that CeeDee Lamb? Do they have CeeDee Lamb lined up at running back? I'm like, surely they're going to run some sort of, halfback little angle route, try to get him on a linebacker or something. Nope, let's run it up the middle. Now, he tried to bounce it outside, and then he gets injured. I'm like, what are you doing? That's not the type of receiver he's not Deebo Samuel. He's not A.J. Brown. Like, what are they doing?
You actually saw the Bears do that with DJ Moore in this game.
He ain't DJ Moore.
They'll, swing DJ Moore in the backfield and hand him the ball. But what I was going to say is the Bears, too, they've got other players. They've got Rome. They've got Burden. They've got Swift. They've got Zacchaeus. They can afford to do something like that with DJ Moore.
Yeah,
CeeDee is your
That's
offense,
the thing.
guys.
DJ Moore isn't their whole offense, and DJ Moore is stout. Like, not saying CeeDee, he's not a string bean, right? But he's not as stout as DJ Moore is. DJ Moore is strong, dude. Strong. That didn't make any sense to me. And obviously they weren't thinking he was going to get injured, but you put a guy at running back and that's a possibility. Like, it just is. I hated that. If I was a Cowboys fan, I hated that. And obviously he gets hurt and high ankle and it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
And now your outlook for the next month is real bad.
Dude, their season could be over. They could be 1-5, 1-6, that was dumb.
Yeah. All right. Sunday Night Football will end up. We're doing
way
better time-wise. We're finally starting to get in our groove. We're much better time-wise. We'll hopefully be even better next week. But Kansas City, New York Giants. I don't even know. I say the same thing I've been saying. I want to see the Chiefs with Rasheed and Xavier. I don't know what this version of the Chiefs is I'm seeing. I'll be honest with you.
It's hard to tell what is. Honestly, some of Patrick's throws are so bad, it's hard to tell what is just a really bad throw versus what was a complete miscommunication on the route. Like, I can't tell at some points. I mean, it just looks awful. This was a classic must.
He is missing some. Like, I've seen some usual layups with him and Travis Kelce, and it looks like it's Mahomes that just flubs it at his feet or misses Kelce. They're not on the same page.
Like I say, it's tough to tell. It's tough to tell when he, if he thinks he's going to cut in and he stays straight. I mean, that's some of those throws that look off. It might be exactly where he wanted to throw it. He just thought Travis was going to be there. That's a problem. Like, those two their connection is a problem right now. They'll probably figure it out, but this was just a classic must win. They find a way to do it. They found a little bit of offense late in the game, which was nice. Good to see. But
I did like some of the Patrick to Tyquan Thornton, that last big throw he made. That was really impressive.
They just can't run the ball, man. They just can't run the ball. And something I noticed, he didn't run the ball this week. It says he had 5 attempts. 3 of those were kneels. He literally had like 2 attempts for 5 yards. Like, he was like, I've taken too much of a beating, I think, these first 2 weeks.
He's been getting like 50 yards a game the past
I think he knew I'm taking
games.
too much of a beating. Like, in the fourth quarter, if we need it, I can go to it, but I'm not doing it. I think that's kind of his mentality going into the game. And
against the Giants, you really don't. You're at least, hopefully, you're not supposed to need it.
No, and they didn't. Like, but I think if they would have needed it, he would have gone to it, but he was like, there's no need. They're just buying time till they can get their guys back, because it's not only as simple as the receivers they have aren't as good as Rasheed and Xavier. it's more than that. It's the type of plays they can run. It's their whole offensive identity going into the game. It's everything. Not having those two guys affects everything. But we'll see what they look like when they get back. Can the Chiefs be around 500 when that happens? Probably. I think they have Baltimore next week. If that would be a massive, massive win. Massive win if they could pull that one off. But we'll see.
Yeah. Only thing on the Giants side is Cam Scatterboo was a favorite in college football, and man, he's looking like he's going to be a favorite in the NFL too. Just a fan favorite. Dude runs hard.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, with I have him in our league, and if Tracy's going to miss time, I think I have to play him next week. Like it's that type of deal. I mean, he had 6 or 7 catches. We got to see Russ again. Like the 450 yards was fun, but we saw a little bit that the last sequence. The game was over, but they were still trying to score. On 1st and goal, he goes overthrow, tries to run it up the middle, gets 1 yard, overthrow on 3rd down, overthrow on 4th down, game's over. Like not an overthrow, like throwing it away. He threw it away on 4th down. Like it was. There was rumblings that they're entertaining the idea of Jackson Dart next week. I doubt it happens next week. You probably got 2 more weeks.
I didn't listen to the press conference, but apparently that's kind of where Dable was. He left things open-ended, we'll say that, as far as a Jackson Dart start.
So. All right.
All right. Well, we're through everything. Monday Night Football's going on. I think we're headed to halftime.
It looks like the Lions are going to try to run this play with 18 seconds left. Dump it off. Yeah. They picked up a few yards. Down to 13. They called a timeout. Man, they are going to try to score with 13 seconds left. Nobody can do that, right? That's impossible.
I was really worried that this was going to be one of those games, like we mentioned earlier with the Lions, where the Ravens are able to thump them. But the Lions' run game is good, man.
Yep.
They're running the ball effectively.
Yeah, they've looked good.
Which we've been saying, if they can do that.
They just stopped the Ravens on 4th and goal. Terrible play by Lamar. Wound up not really hurting them because they got the ball back and scored anyways. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be 14-14 at halftime in all likelihood because nobody can score with 13 seconds left, right? That's impossible.
I don't want to hear you talk about this. Let's move on.
All right.
Jahmyr Gibbs is going to hopefully, I need him to have 4 more points. I just want him to get me to triple digits in Mully. That's all I'm looking for.
I think he's going to get 4 more in the second half. There's Amon Ra getting stopped short. 7 seconds. Yeah. My gosh, dude. You got to. I mean, they got another timeout. Can they get, 25, 30 yards to call timeout? I don't know.
That'll be it for us this week. Anything else you want to add, Landon?
That is it.
That's it. I'm excited. Any games in particular?
We got Chiefs Ravens next week. That's a big one. There's some interesting ones. Got a couple teams going across the pond.
Packers are probably going to smoke the Cowboys.
That'll be fun. Micah back in Dallas. So yeah, should be a lot of fun. 2 Monday night games next week. So,
yeah.
And my goal is
that sounds great.
My goal is 70 minutes for this podcast. We're at 73 and a half. We are getting so much better. So much better. Next week.
We're almost there. We're close to perfection.
As there's more teams that just don't warrant talking about, we're going to get there.
Yeah. Once you hit the bye, we'll be fine. All right, boys. We will see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed, leave us a like, comment, review. We'll see you in the next one.